Hello everybody and welcome to the video. So let's get started right away. Now first of all, we have at approximately 10 seconds into the video, one of Robbie Rotten's comrades, as you can see here, actually has the front of their hair painted on. Now this is really incredible because it gives the illusion that he's actually got this slick hair. Now, in the next shot, we can get a view of Robbie's lair. Now, we can see that Robbie himself is actually quite the chemist, as on the left side of the screen, he has a suspicious-looking little setup of all of his chemistry stuff. Revealed that some of it is used to make cakes in other episodes of LAZYTOWN. And in the top right of the screen, we can see Robbie's collection of clothes. This is only 2 of them, however, and we'll get into this later. Now, with this bigger view of Robbie's lair, we can take a look at some of the costumes. Now, at first glance, these costumes may seem just costumes. However, we can take a look and see that the first one up here represents how Robbie feels. The life jacket represents how he must float above everyone else, but the fact that he's not wearing it shows that these people are above him. On the next side, we can see the scarf in this costume is somewhat of a future-telling scarf. On the next side, the scarf in this costume is somewhat of a future-telling scarf, as later in the video, there is a zebra crossing in which Robbie, dressed as a grandma, is led across by Sporticus. Next to the future-telling scarf costume, we have a baseballist costume. Now, this costume may seem like nothing at first, but the white represents Robbie's wrists and ankles, as you can see, the little things around all of the Robbie's wrists are white. Robbie's socks are also white. Next to that, we can see a businessman costume. Now this shows Robbie's future intent to become the business leader of LAZYTOWN. Now this is really interesting and a really deep one that I might leave for another video. And next to that, we have the other costume. Now this one features glasses, and this represents something that Robbie wants, because as you can see, none of these Robbies are wearing glasses, and they're not doing too well at this point in time. So, as you can see, the glasses represent Robbie's wanting to be a better man. And in the right side of the screen, the middle right side of the screen, you can see a bike. Now, this bike has orange on it, and this orange is the same as the life jacket. Now, this means that when Robbie rides this bike, he feels as if he is above other people. This is why his bike is such a prized possession. Now, this is really interesting, because if you really listen to the song, you can hear that there is a bass guitar, but no double bass. Now, that means that this scene is not them playing the song, but a bunch of hired actors playing the song with big-looking instruments, which I find just appalling. I really think that they should have done a live recording of it. As you can see here, this I just find dastardly. You have your orange, once again, your orange carpet, and this represents that while these people are playing the instruments, they are feeling above all of the other people. However, if you look into the middle Robbie's drum kit, you can see that it is only a snare and a hi-hat. However, if you listen to the song, you can hear a kick drum. This means that they are actually not playing it live, which is also backing up my theory from before. Now this scene, while it may be short, is incredibly interesting as it shows a lot of things about the town. As you can see up the back, there is a soccer ball, and this is incredibly interesting because by seeing this floating soccer ball, we can tell that all balls in LAZYTOWN do not have any gravity. And another little thing with this scene is that this pink-haired, pink-dressed character right here is an idiot. She is wearing a singlet and a hat. However, she seems to be too cold to wear gloves. So why doesn't she put a jumper on or a long-sleeved shirt? We might never know. And here's something else really interesting. As you can see in this scene right here, the binocular view is pretty much perfectly circular. However, if you look at the binoculars that the pink-haired character looks out of, you can see that they are more of an oval type shape. And now we can get a bit of a better look at all the costumes if you are interested in those little Easter eggs. This is a furnace. Now this is really interesting because the scene really just drops you right into it. No explanation to how these guys have fallen through the pipe up the top. How did they even get there? How did they get down there? There are so many questions to do with the scene that you could probably even write an essay on it. Possibly in future LAZYTOWN episodes, if the show does get picked up again, we could see how these guys did get up and through the pipe. Now, this is one of the things that I find incredibly odd about LAZYTOWN. As you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 different houses in the background. However, we never see who is living in these houses. This begs the question, why are there so many abandoned houses around LAZYTOWN? Possibly it's a post-apocalyptic world where all of the people were killed off. Possibly it is called LAZYTOWN because all of these people were lazy and they have never left their homes. Possibly these people could have died in those homes, leaving their dead skeletons in these abandoned houses, while Spartacus, Robbie, and the rest of the gang populate the outside of the town. Maybe in future episodes of LAZYTOWN, if it does get picked up again, we could see what is really inside of these houses. Why is there only one flower on this bush? Why are these rocks pink? Wait, what? 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 Now, this is another really interesting thing about this video. These sticks right here, of which one of the Robbies step on a little bit later into the video, look like they've just come from the top of this tree. However, this tree is clearly oak, while these branches are clearly birchwood. Now, this means that they've got the wood from another place, which I just that's not on. If you look super closely, you can see that this metal cage is in fact not metal. Wouldn't Spartacus know that this is in fact Robbie Rotten because of the 2 R's on his purple shirt? Here is another little Easter egg that a lot of people probably didn't pick up. If you look super closely into the scene, you can see that Stingy is in fact waiting to pass in his tiny little car. This is also showing the height between characters, because from this image right here, we can see how tall Stingy is in comparison to Spartacus, in comparison to Robbie Rotten. And if we look at the scene before this, we can see how tall Stingy is in comparison to the pink-haired girl, which shows how tall she is compared to Robbie and Spartacus. If you look super closely, you can see that this net is colored blue. If you look super super closely, you can see that these banana peels are in fact plastic.